I'm doing this by choice.
Right.
I'm doing this because I want freedom. I don't want to pay those kinds of rents anymore. So I got this little gadget off of Amazon. So I can step up here and this will hold up to 300 pounds.
Very secure. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my next video. Today we're meeting Kimothy. Hi, Kimothy.
Hi, Bob. It's a pleasure to meet you. You changed my life.
Oh, well, thank you. I love hearing that. I don't get enough of it.
You did.
Where were you when I changed your life? You're Canadian, right?
I am Canadian. I was in Ottawa, which is my home base. And I had been watching for a long time because I was part-time first. And so I was looking at, I found you before Nomadland, but I was looking at all the different ideas, and then my life changed after I was part-time, very briefly, with a tab, a little teardrop, and a big Pathfinder Platinum. And now I'm full-time because there was that life-changing event that was a very serious car accident.
Okay, so you had went part-time just to test the waters, and then something really tragic happened, a bad accident, and now you're full-time.
Yes, and I'm full-time because of the bad accident.
Right. So you can't work, or?
Work was hindered. I had run a marketing company for 10 years after leaving 25 years as a news anchor. And so my work was impacted. I had 28 injuries. Somebody ran a stop sign and there was a T-bone accident, and I was running out of money, and I had listened to CheapRVLiving for years and years. And I thought, I can sit here and wait for the legal case to be settled while I'm hemorrhaging money, living in a very nice place, or I could Bob Wells it. And so obviously I chose that one. So my dog and I have been on the road now full-time for 3.5 months, and there's no plan to return to a bricks and sticks. I can sit in this beautiful apartment and just wait and wait and wait for the money to come from the lawsuit. But I could potentially be 60 at that point, and I'm 56 now. And I thought, what am I sitting here waiting for? I can do this. And that's what the insurance company replaced my Pathfinder with. And I thought, could I live out of this? And I converted a lot of it based on your recommendations. Nope. This can go back to a family vehicle in probably about 2 hours of putting the seats back in.
Well, why don't we take a look inside your rig? I'm very excited to see it.
This is the setup.
Nice.
So I can work on my computer here. Sit up in bed. This is an actual fridge, but I'm just using it as a cooler for now. And it's just one of the knockoffs, I think, of Bouge RV or something like that. I have backed this up to beaches and forests and beautiful things, and I can sit in bed and do my work and look at the view. And underneath here, this is sort of why there are no screws. Everything under here is storage. So you can see this is the bin that holds up the entire bed. And then there's storage all the way. And this is 5.5 feet long. So it goes all the way. And then when I say I have a little game of Tetris, I just shove things in to fill it. And then the Kilimanjaro pad does the upper half of me because I didn't really need it for the bottom part. And then when I don't need to access that panel, I just put my big, strong picture of my big, strong girl under there. And then I have all that foot space. So I have, when I put my seat up, I have almost 6 feet.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, and I'm 5'8". But this was the game changer, and this is because of you, Bob. It's a swing hitch, but it also has tons of storage.
Yes.
So when I park somewhere beautiful like this, I can set up my little outdoor rug. This is my little outdoor table, my one burner. And then I have a lot of emergency things under here. Electrical extension cords. Buddy has this seat, and it has the harness that he has on. It has a seatbelt because he was not attached on the day of the car accident. And he sits here happily and does his thing. And this is also where I store my Starlink.
Oh, yeah.
And my briefcase, which has my film equipment and stuff like that. So I have the Starlink here for if I'm in the middle of nowhere. And then the window covers for the front always reside there. I'm sure you know that, if it was dark, when you're in an SUV, you can put your hand on anything you need at any time because everything stays in the same place. But you'll see in this door, all of my charging is back here because thanks to Bob Wells, I have an EcoFlow. So it was very important to me that I have a front door. And the reason for that is that I wanted a place that I could easily climb up into and that I have, this is the charging station, the EcoFlow.
Right.
And then all of my charging cables, everything like that is in there so that I can also charge from either my front, I know they don't call it a cigarette lighter anymore, but my front port, or I also have a port right here. And then I have solar panels, which I'll show you. And one of the things I wanted to show you that is really great for people with accessibility issues is this is all my kitchen supplies. Mm-hmm. So I got this little gadget off of Amazon, and it's a step.
Well, look at that.
And all you do is you put it in here, and so I can step up here, and this is like, this will hold up to 300 pounds.
Very secure.
And I use this as a step so that I don't fall because one of my hips doesn't work as well as I would like it to. So to jump ahead to the Bob Wells question, this is what I bring out at nighttime if I'm out in the open, and this is my toilet solution. You can use it inside. So if I'm in a Walmart parking lot or something like that, the reason why I chose this model condenses down and then it also lifts up if you want it higher. And so I kept this area open so that if we are in a Walmart parking lot, all I do is I put it on these cheap little sticks to stabilize it.
Yeah.
And I can put it in there. You see the pine wood bedding. So that of course gives you my solution.
Right.
And then in this basket here is the toilet paper, pure vinegar spray, bags, extra toilet paper under there. So, and then behind here is basically toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, everything that I would need as if that was my bathroom. So this is sort of my bathroom area. The bed is super comfortable.
Yeah, that's a nice thick mattress.
Well, it's fake.
Oh, it's fake.
So it's 3 inches of foam. I simply put plywood over top of it, on top of one of those Walmart clothing bins that goes under a big double bed. And then on top of that, I put my air mattress from when I climbed Kilimanjaro. So it's stacked. And then I keep all of my window covers up in that net that you can see in there. And that also has, you know, my pajamas, when I'm traveling, my window screens. And with this setup, if I open the roof panel, just the cloth thing, I have an extra 4 inches. So I can move the pillows, sit there, and then use the fridge as my desk.
Right.
So I can sit up, I can lie down, or I can actually do my work on here. These are my solar panels.
Oh, there they are.
So I simply fold up the protective cover part. I kept the original styrofoam. I simply unfold these. I did have suitcase. And so because these have grommets, all I do is take them to one of these super powerful magnets, hook it in, and then attach it to the EcoFlow.
Is that 50 watts?
These are both 75.
75.
I have 2 of them. Again, you can see the Tetris game under.
Oh, yeah.
Dirty laundry, extra boots, the tent that goes on the back. And then I simply move these pillows, which of course have all of my clothes in them.
Right.
And then I can either sit up in bed or I can put them here and sit as if I'm sitting at a desk. Full-size spare is under here.
Yeah, mine too.
And I thought, I don't want to be driving on a donut in case there's some emergency. And it all works perfectly. We sleep really well. Everything's blacked out. I have some security measures in here. I do have pepper spray that I bought in the United States, but I've never felt afraid.
Good.
Ever.
That's the common story.
Yeah. No, I feel more afraid in cities.
Yes, by far.
This tent that I have goes over the entire back of this, encases everything. It even goes over the hitch. So in the event it was pouring rain for days, I can move my chair outside into the tent and do my work there.
Right.
You know, I could even put the Starlink up from inside. It's huge. I think it's 10 feet by 8 feet. I haven't had any trouble with finding showers. I do have a shower solution, which is just spray bottle and a big jug of water. And of course, I have a whole bunch of wipes.
Right. That's the key.
A whole bunch of wipes.
So go ahead and tell us your YouTube channel.
Okay. So it's No Forwarding Address Canada, all one word. And then the website is noforwardingaddress.ca. I'm a proud Canadian, and while I get a lot of Americans really interested in this and asking about my country, I think that kind of what I'm sharing as I go all across the United States and then all across Canada is there are a lot of beautiful things to see, and the border is not a problem. Our border.
Right. Now, I know there are Canadian listeners, and they always are interested in hearing from Canadians. And just people are curious, how does it work for a Canadian coming to the States?
So there's a few things that are mostly to do with our healthcare. As you know, we get free healthcare. So, but you have to get your little body back into Canada every 6 months, which is what a lot of snowbirds do. I don't consider myself a snowbird, but I certainly kind of behave like a snowbird. Insurance is also something you really need to be careful because sometimes the vehicle needs to re-enter. So you can't just fly home. I'm flying home for the holidays, so that resets my healthcare clock. Oh, but the vehicle, so you have to be very careful about what kind of insurance because the Ontario is where it's registered. And that's a long way from here.
It sure is.
So you have to be careful that you have the right kind of insurance. So, and that's it. I mean, if you're not coming down here to work and you don't need a visa, you cross the border. It took me 1 minute. And they were mostly interested if he had his rabies shots and up to date. The dog had his rabies shots and everything was up to date, which it was. And to enter the United States, you need 30 days of a vet signing that those are up to date.
Right.
And then you show that and off you go. And I also have a very significant insurance policy for something happened to me here. So I bought extra insurance for what I think they call it medical and evacuation, which is what it takes to get you back to Canada to your free health care.
Very good.
Because it would be very expensive for me to get injured here and have to pay for health care. So you have to buy extra insurance for that.
There are a lot of people out there who are afraid, who are watching videos just like you once did to see if they could do it. What's your message to them?
I think I am probably the least likely person to do this in people's minds. They didn't know that Kilimanjaro, there's no bathrooms on Kilimanjaro, right? Like you learn. But, people watched me on television for 25 years and I had a very posh life. And I would like to contribute to blowing apart the idea that this is for people who are unhoused because they have to be. I'm doing this by choice.
Right.
I'm doing this because I want freedom. I don't want to pay those kinds of rents anymore. And I've owned several houses as well. And this isn't just for that. And the stigma of, they're homeless. I'm not homeless. That's my home. I don't have a house, but I have a home. That's what I want to participate in, is making sure that people don't judge before they know the story, or they ask us why. I wanted freedom.
Right.
And when you get hit by a car, you realize life can be really short. It's freedom from, I was a workaholic. I worked all the time. I worked at night. I went to public appearances. I hosted galas. And now I just get to watch the sunrise and set and plan my day around that.
So, folks, I know you've got some inspiration. Maybe you ought to reconsider your life. If you're just sitting at home waiting and watching life go by, maybe you should join Kimothy and I out here and have some real freedom and joy. If you got anything out of this video, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll talk to you on the next video. See you then.